students. This video is continuation of chapter life process. In this particular video, we will talk about nutrition in plant in detail. At first, the process by which plants prepare their food is defined as what? Photosynthesis. So in this particular video, we will talk about the process of photosynthesis, the mechanism of photosynthesis, the role of the process of photosynthesis which is completed by plant. These are all things. So green plants are autotrophic that we already discussed. They can prepare their own food by using the inorganic raw material by the process of photosynthesis. So here we will talk about the process of photosynthesis. It is what? It is just a chemical process by which green plants synthesize organic food in the form of what? Carbohydrate, or you can say glucose, from inorganic material like carbon dioxide and water, and obviously in presence of sunlight. Sunlight is very important here. So this is defined as what? Photosynthesis. It is what? It is a chemical process by which green plant can prepare their food by using inorganic material like carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight. The food they prepare is the type of organic food. Listen, we are using here inorganic material for the preparation of food, but after completion of this particular process, plant prepare the food in the form of organic material. So let's discuss about the reaction. Maybe you are familiar with this particular reaction, that is the process of photosynthesis. Here, carbon dioxide and water are combining in presence of sunlight, where? In chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a segment or a sector or a site in a plant or leaf where the photosynthesis process is completed. We will discuss about this particular part in detail, but still this particular reaction is what? This is carbon dioxide plus water in presence of sunlight and in chlorophyll pigment. They prepare what? Glucose and oxygen gas. This particular reaction is defined as photosynthesis reaction. Here the balanced equation is given. Carbon dioxide and water combining in presence of sunlight in chlorophyll form what? Glucose and oxygen gas. So this is the reaction of photosynthesis. Now, the process of photosynthesis, we will discuss here in detail about the process of photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis is practically completed in green leaves of the plant. As we know, the green leaves of the plant contain chlorophyll, right? So the food is prepared by the green leaves of the plant is basically what? This is just a sugar, or you can say the glucose. So plant utilize this glucose for their growth and development, for their maintenance work, or simply you can say for the completion of their life process. But obviously they are not able to utilize all the glucose prepared by them. So the extra glucose, they just stored in the plant body, like in leaf, in stem, in root. So these all are the parts where the extra glucose is stored in term of what? Starch. So this particular starch is utilized by then heterotrophic organism. The heterotroph group of organism utilize this particular starch for their growth and development because they are not able to prepare their own food by using inorganic material, right? So the green plants convert sunlight energy because they trap solar energy. Only the green plants have a capacity to trap that solar energy. So this particular solar energy is basically converted into chemical energy first to make food, to make carbohydrate, you can say, to make food. So for the preparation of food, plant at first trap solar energy, but then that particular solar energy get converted into what? Chemical energy. Then they are able to utilize that chemical energy to convert that inorganic material into organic material like carbohydrate or glucose. So we will discuss about this particular process in the mechanism of photosynthesis. Mechanism of photosynthesis is a very important process by which the plant are able to prepare their food. So there are some steps. By using these steps, the plant are able to prepare their own food by using inorganic material. The first step completed by plant body by the process of photosynthesis is the absorption of sunlight energy by chlorophyll. Plants have a green pigment, we know about that. That is what? Chlorophyll. This particular chlorophyll have a capacity to trap solar energy. So this is the first process that is completed by plant in the process of mechanism of photosynthesis. That is what? Absorption of sunlight energy by chlorophyll. In next step, that is conversion of light energy into what? Chemical energy. Because light energy will not get utilized by plant directly. So at first, that light energy should be converted into what? Chemical energy, so that they can use that chemical energy for the further process. So that chemical energy will be utilized for the splitting of water. The splitting of water. This particular water is gets splitted into hydrogen and oxygen. This particular water gets splitted into what? Hydrogen and oxygen. This particular process is the second step or the second process in mechanism of photosynthesis. In third step, reduction of carbon dioxide is done by hydrogen to form carbohydrate. As we know, reduction is what? Addition of hydrogen. So here carbon dioxide get added with more hydrogen and form carbohydrate like glucose. That is basically the organic substance or the food prepared by plant by the process of photosynthesis. So these three steps are very important, which is completed by plant body as a mechanism of photosynthesis. In first step, at first it will absorb or trap solar energy. For that, the plant have a special green pigment that is named as what? Chlorophyll, which is utilized, or simply they are able to trap solar energy. In next step, that particular solar energy will get converted into chemical energy, and that chemical energy will be used to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. After completion of this process, this particular hydrogen get combined with carbon dioxide, or simply the process of reduction is completed here. Because of that, they are able to make glucose, that we can say as food also. This particular process is defined as what? Photosynthesis process. So it is not necessary that all the three processes will be completed step by step. Means to say, sometime this is not necessary. The first step will be completed first, then only this step will be followed up. Sometime, like when we talk about the desert plant, then they just do these all process not in step. They just not follow this particular step for the preparation of food or simply for the process of photosynthesis. They not immediately complete all the actions one by one. They trap solar energy in daytime. Okay, and the remaining process is completed in night time. So they are not completing this process step by step manner. Now we will talk about the condition which is necessary for photosynthesis. The condition which is necessary for photosynthesis are: first is sunlight, that is very important for the process of photosynthesis. Second is what? Chlorophyll. Third is carbon dioxide, and fourth is water. As we know, as we discussed about the reaction of photosynthesis, where we had seen that carbon dioxide and water are the raw material which will be utilized for the process of photosynthesis process. And this particular process can be completed in the photosynthetic pigment that is defined as what? Chlorophyll. And obviously sunlight is also important at the same time, because this sunlight energy will help to break water and combine it with carbon dioxide to form glucose. So these all are very important for plant body for the preparation of food by the process of photosynthesis. How do plant obtain carbon dioxide? Because this is the raw material that plant needed for photosynthesis process. So how do they obtain this particular carbon dioxide? We will talk about that first. As we know, the source of carbon dioxide in atmosphere is basically the respiration, because after respiration we release lots of carbon dioxide, and there are lots of consumer in our surrounding. So obviously because of that, the production of carbon dioxide is more in our surrounding by the process of what? Respiration. There are some microbial decomposition also and the process of combustion also. These all phenomenon actually increases the level of carbon dioxide in our surrounding. By the process of combustion, if you combust wood, coal, or any particular fuel, then after combustion of that, it releases what? Carbon dioxide gas. So these are the sources from which we can release carbon dioxide in surrounding, or we can define the carbon dioxide in our surrounding. Green plant utilize this particular carbon dioxide from the atmosphere during the process of photosynthesis, because when plant perform the process of photosynthesis, then they need carbon dioxide as a raw material. So this raw material will be consumed by plant body which is present in our surrounding. It enters the plant body through leaf. कैसे enter होती है? Through leaf, because leaf have a pores that is defined as stomatal pores. So there are large number of stomatal pores that are present over the surface of leaves. You can see each stomatal pores is surrounded by a pair of guard cell. This particular guard cell actually help in opening and closing of stomatal pores. This is controlled by the opening or closing of stomatal pores is controlled by this guard cell only. This guard cell help to control the opening and closing of what? This particular stomatal pores. As you can see in diagram, this is what? Stomatal pores. Pores in a plant's cuticle through which water and gases, this stomatal pore help to exchange what? Water and obviously the gases. What are the gases that plant need to exchange? That is carbon dioxide gas and oxygen gas. So these two gases are exchanged by this particular pore which is named as stomatal pores, and the opening and closing of this stomatal pores is controlled by this particular segment which is defined as what? Guard cell. This guard cell help or control the opening or closing of stomata. Now, how do plants obtain water? We discussed earlier, they obtain carbon dioxide from surrounding. So how do they obtain water? That we will discuss now. The water required by the plant for the photosynthesis is absorbed by basically root. They absorb this particular water from the root. The root of the plant is basically present in soil, and soil say by the process of osmosis. Osmosis is basically a process of exchangement of water, as we already know about this. So this particular process of osmosis is used by the roots of the plant to exchange water from soil for the plant body. The water absorbed by the roots of the plant is transported upward. As we know, there are a vascular bundle. This vascular bundle is named as what? Xylem vessel, which is used by plant to conduct water from root to the leaf or stem. So this particular water movement is done by xylem vessel. The xylem vessel control the movement of water upside to the leaves, because in leaf actually the photosynthesis process is occurring now. So for that they need carbon dioxide and water as a raw material. So this water will be utilized by this leaf for the process of photosynthesis, which is provided by xylem vessel. And here this particular water is absorbed by the process of osmosis through soil. The plant also need other raw material like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and magnesium also. There are lots of mineral which is present in our soil that we know, and that all minerals are needed by the plant, even though for us also this is very important. So this particular mineral also along with water get moved upward by this particular xylem vessel. This water along with mineral, okay, is named as sap water. This is named as what? Sap water. The mineral water, you can say that mineral water will get conducted upside via this particular xylem vessel, where the sector where the process of photosynthesis will be completed. Obviously the leaf where the photosynthesis process will be completed. The plant need these all material, nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, magnesium. These all are very important for building of the body of plant, because they need these nutrients for metabolic activities completed by plant body. So the plant intake that all minerals, that all content from the soil, because soil contain macro and micronutrients. We know about these all. These nutrients are present in soil, so that all minerals will be conducted via soil by the process of osmosis. Now we will talk about the site of photosynthesis. The site of photosynthesis, if we talk, then we say what? It is basically the chloroplast. As we know, the chloroplast is present broadly in leaf, because leaf is the part, or you can say any green part of the plant contain lots of chloroplast. These chloroplasts are photosynthetic organelle, because here only the process of photosynthesis will be completed. So we can say the site of photosynthesis in a cell of leaf are what? Chloroplast, which contain chlorophyll. This particular chlorophyll is a green pigment which is contained by this particular organelle, that is defined as what? Chloroplast. So chloroplast is present in the photosynthetic cell. A photosynthetic cell is a special type of cell which contains this particular green pigment named as chlorophyll. That special type of cell is named as mesophyll cell. We name this a special type of cell where photosynthetic pigment are present. What? That is mesophyll cell. This is the green part of the plant where this mesophyll cell is present, where the process of photosynthesis will be completed. These cells contain more number of chlorophyll than other parts of the plant. This particular mesophyll cell contain more number of what? Chlorophyll than other parts of the green parts of the plant. Okay. Now, as you can see in this diagram, this is the site of photosynthesis where actually the process of photosynthesis will be completed. Obviously, the chloroplasts are the organelle in the cell of green plant where this particular process of photosynthesis will be completed. Photosynthesis occurs in the organelle called what? Chloroplast. This is very important. Where the photosynthetic pigment is present, that is what? Chloroplast, because chloroplast carry chlorophyll, and that particular chlorophyll have a capacity to trap solar energy, right? And that solar energy will get converted into chemical energy and utilized by plant body for the process of photosynthesis and to make organic material like glucose. In this particular diagram, you can see here this particular chloroplast which contain what? Stroma, a fluid, grana, stacks of thylakoids. You can see here, this is the stacks of thylakoids. This is what? Stroma. Okay, this particular stack of thylakoid contain what? Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is what? This is just a green pigment as we discussed earlier, जिसके पास capacity होती है to trap what? Solar energy. This particular diagram is given in your textbook also. This diagram is very important. We will talk about this particular diagram because this is just a cross section of leaf. This is the lower epidermal part of the leaf where actually the photosynthesis process get completed. Stomata का function क्या होता है? The function performed by stomata is to regulate the gas exchangement and obviously the prevent of water loss. It also prevent the loss of water. So stomata is very important because it helps to control or simply to regulate the exchangement of gas. It will help to regulate, right? Exchange of gas. And second function which is performed by this particular stomata is what? To prevent water loss. It to prevent water loss. That we can say here. So these two are the function which is performed by stomata. Now we will talk about the layers of this particular leaf. As you can see, this is the waxy coating. This is the waxy coating. This is the uppermost part of the leaf. This particular waxy coating is basically for the prevention of leaf. It provides protection to the leaf, you can say. It provides what? Protection to the leaf. Okay, it also controls the exchangement of gases, exchangement of water or loss of water, you can say. Here, this particular palisade mesophyll cell that you can see, this is what? Mesophyll cell. The palisade layer is basically help to absorb sunlight. This particular palisade layer help to absorb sunlight. This particular palisade layer help to absorb sunlight. This layer is very important because this particular layer absorb the solar energy. Help to absorb solar energy because solar energy can be trapped by only that particular green pigment that is defined as what? Chlorophyll. But this palisade help to absorb solar energy. That's why this layer is very important. And the lower spongy layer, you can see here, the lower spongy layer, right? This is what? Spongy layer. There are lots of space in between them. The stomatal pore, the guard cell are present here. This particular spongy layer help in exchangement of gases. This is what? Lower epidermal part, which help in exchangement of gases, exchangement of water. This all process is completed by this cross section of leaf. And as we can show, this particular mesophyll cell contain green pigment, and that green pigment contain what? Chlorophyll, that will have a capacity to trap solar energy, and because of that they are able to prepare food like glucose by using raw material like carbon dioxide and water. Okay, now we will discuss about the experiment, that is sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. As we know, sunlight is necessary or important for photosynthesis because we discussed in the reaction earlier. In presence of sunlight only, this reaction can be occur because solar energy will get converted into chemical energy to combine carbon dioxide with hydrogen to form what? Glucose. So here by experiment we will prove that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Now for that what we need to do, just take a potted plant first. We will take a potted plant, okay, जिसके leaves कैसे होने चाहिए? Green होने चाहिए. Just place that potted plant in a dark place about for 2 to 3 days. That 2 to 3 days will be utilized to destarch the leaf totally. जितने भी leaf part plant के थे, that will all get just destarched. Okay, that all will get what? Destarched. Now just take a aluminum foil. You can take a cloth also, dark color cloth, any cloth you can wrap there. Aluminum foil is good if you will wrap it. So take a thin strip of aluminum foil and wrap it in the leaf, anywhere, center mein, side mein, anywhere you can wrap. Okay, just assure that no sunlight is entering in that part of the leaf. What we did here, we are taking a potted plant and just keeping that plant, that potted plant, in a dark room for 2 to 3 days so that they can destarch. And now what we are doing, before just bringing that in sunlight, we will just take a leaf and foil it and wrap it with a aluminum foil, and now expose this particular potted plant in sunlight. What we will do, just expose it in sunlight. Now what will happen, you will see that after about 6 hours, that particular plant will able to perform photosynthesis process, and obviously they will able to prepare food inside the plant body. Now just pluck that particular leaf जिसमें आपने aluminum foil wrap किया था. Now what we need to do, we need to remove at first the chlorophyll which is present in this particular leaf. उस leaf में जितने भी chlorophyll है, we need to just remove from that particular leaf. For that, what we will do, remove its green color chlorophyll. What we will do, just boil the leaf in alcohol with the help of water bath. क्या करना है? Boil the leaf in alcohol with the help of water bath. You can do it like this. As we know, alcohol is very volatile liquid. Right now, alcohol is very volatile liquid. So what we need to do, we need to supply heat to water. हमें supply heat किसको करना है? Water को. Now just take a container. Just take a container and just a minute. Just take a container and put some alcohol here. Put some alcohol here. And now put that leaf that you took. Put that leaf. Okay. Now what will happen, if you will boil this particular alcohol directly, then as it is very, very aggressive liquid, very, very volatile liquid, so you will not able to do this experiment because it will be an explosive reaction. So what we need to do, we need to take a container that is filled with water. Now put one more container in this filled with alcohol and just put that particular leaf in this particular container. This is defined as water bath. This is defined as what? Water bath. So by doing this, you will able to remove all the chlorophyll pigment from this particular leaf, because you are boiling that leaf in what? You are boiling that leaf in alcohol. Because of that, you will able to remove all the pigment, all the green color pigment, which is defined as what? Chlorophyll. Okay. Now, wash the decolorized leaf with water. अभी आपने क्या करना है? तो water है, it will just decolorize. Now just rinse it with water so that it assure no chlorophyll pigment is present there. All the sticked chlorophyll pigment we will also remove by just rinsing it 2 or more times, right? Now put iodine solution over the colorless leaf. Now the leaf will be colorless because all the green pigment get extracted from here. So what will happen? It will be just a colorless leaf. Now what we will do? We will just put some iodine or just dip this particular leaf in what? Iodine solution. You will observe that the part where the foil was wrapped will not convert into blue-black, and the remaining portion of the leaf will get converted into blue-black color. This shows that this particular part of leaf will not have any starch present, right? Okay, now just I'm showing you a diagram. The observation at first we will see, on adding iodine solution, covered part of the leaf does not turn blue-black. The covered part of the leaf does not turn blue-black, showing that no starch is present in this middle part of the leaf. Because if starch will be present there, then it will react with iodine solution and the color will turn to blue-black. So it is not changing at all, means to say that particular part of the leaf is not containing any starch at all. Now, the uncovered part, if you will see, the uncovered part of the leaf which receives light, then obviously their photosynthesis process will occur and it will prepare starch from that, starch for that part also. So that particular part will get converted into blue-black color. Now you can see here, this was the part which is wrapped with a black paper. Here we are using, you can use aluminum foil also. This particular part of the leaf is not get colored blue-black. This part is what? Colorless now, and the remaining part you can see here, it is turned what? Blue-black. This shows that in this particular part no starch is present at all. Here no starch is present, and in remaining portion you can see it turns blue-black, means to say the starch are present in this particular part, means to say the photosynthesis process is completed by this particular part. Because of that, they are able to prepare their food and starch is present in this area, right? Okay, now we will discuss about the experiment where we will prove carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. To prove that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis, we will follow the same step that we completed there. What we need to do, at first we will take a potted plant. Okay, just keep that potted plant for 2 to 3 days in a dark room. Just assure that the whole plant get de-starched. All the starch which is stored in the parts of the plant will be utilized by that in this particular 3-4 days, and the whole plant will get what? De-starched. Now what we need to do here, see, if you will expose it in sunlight, then obviously they will able to perform photosynthesis. So before exposing it in sunlight, we need to take potassium hydroxide solution. This potassium hydroxide solution will absorb the carbon dioxide gas. They have a capacity to absorb what? Carbon dioxide gas. Now, leave that plant in sunlight by taking, just I'm showing you the diagram, then it will be more clear. See, this is the diagram here. What we are doing, at first we will keep this particular potted plant for 3 to 4 days in a dark room. Then we will assure that all the starch of this whole plant will be get de-starched now. Now, before exposing this particular plant in sunlight, just do this arrangement which we did here. Just do this arrangement and put some potassium hydroxide in this container. It will assure that no carbon dioxide is present here. We are assuming here, if suppose there is some carbon dioxide, then also it will be absorbed by this particular potassium hydroxide. So no carbon dioxide is present here for this particular part of the leaf. this particular part of the leaf is not exposed in carbon dioxide. We are assuring this by keeping it in this particular container, which is totally locked or blocked by cork, right? We are using a splitted cork here to just assure that there is no entrance of carbon dioxide inside the container. Now, you will see that when you will plug this particular leaf and do that experiment, the alcohol bath experiment, where what we will do, after 3 to 4 hours or 6 hours, you just remove this particular leaf and just put it in a container which is filled with water, and take one more container which is filled with what? Alcohol. It is filled with what? Alcohol. And now put this particular leaf in this particular alcohol container. Now just boil it. What you will see, this is defined as what? Water bath. Why we are doing this? We are doing this to assure that no green pigment will be present here. All the green pigment will be get removed, and when you will remove this particular leaf from alcohol bath, then you will observe that this particular leaf become colorless. This will become colorless. Now just put this particular leaf in iodine solution. What you will observe, the part which is present inside this container, it will not get turned into blue black, and the remaining part of the leaf which is exposed to carbon dioxide will get turned into what? Blue black color. So this assure or prove that no photosynthesis process will be completed by leaf where carbon dioxide is not present, because carbon dioxide is needed as a raw material for plant body for the completion of process of photosynthesis. So we can prove here, as you can see, leave the plant in sunlight. Now after a few hours you will perform a starch test that we did here. After that, what you will observe, the part which is exposed in air will get blue black, and the leaf which is not exposed in air, which is inside the container where KOH was present, then you will see that particular part of the leaf will not get converted into blue black color. This shows that that part of the leaf is not preparing food, means to say no starch is present there. So conclusion is what? Presence of starch proves that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. If no chlorophyll is present there, then no photosynthesis process will be completed. No carbon dioxide is present there, then no photosynthesis process will be completed, right? So this particular video is completed here. In this particular session, we discussed about the process of photosynthesis. So in next video, we will talk about the process of nutrition completed by human being. Okay, that means heterotrophic or halozoic mode of nutrition completed by human being. Okay, thank you for watching this video.